Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm a lawyer practicing in Malaysia. In the previous episode, we discussed about fundraising by issuance of shares in the company to your close ones. In this episode, we will discuss fundraising using unlisted public companies. This is particularly important if you anticipate that there will be more than 50 shareholders in your company. The pros and cons of the issuance and subscription of ordinary and preference shares in a company will be applicable to fundraising using unlisted public companies as well. If you are a company seeking to raise funds to fund your operation needs and of course to expand your business, please stay tuned to this series as we will be discussing specifically on the fundraising that may be applicable to your needs. Now let's start. Generally, an unlisted public company may offer its shares to sophisticated investors and also retail investors. Retail investors are generally any investors that are not sophisticated investors. Most companies would not want to offer to retail investors because the company would need to put in a lot of resources for the drafting of prospectus, which is to be lodged with the Securities Commission of Malaysia, which is the SC. Prospectus is a disclosure document that provides the necessary information of the company to the investors. It is usually a very thick document which contains a lot of information that are jointly drafted by financial advisors and lawyers. The target of unlisted public companies are usually sophisticated investors. The definition of sophisticated investors is actually in the CMSA. We will provide it in the definition box below, so please feel free to check it out. With the recent issuance of the guidelines on offer of shares by unlisted public companies to sophisticated investors, the important point that you need to take note are: firstly, you need to notify the SC on your offer of shares. Secondly, if you issue any information memorandum, which is a much shorter version of a prospectus, you will need to lodge it with the SC as well. And thirdly, if there are any agents helping you to promote or market the shares of your company, they would need to have the Capital Market Services license as well. What I have just discussed may sound to be very complicated, but it is okay. For the execution part and also the compliance part of the offering of the shares, I would suggest you to seek an advice from a lawyer specialized in this area to provide you with a good and comprehensive advice. And also, most important thing is to draft out the necessary documents in compliance with the law. Well, let's recap. If you intend to issue your shares to public and anticipate that your shareholders will be more than 50, you may consider setting up an unlisted public company. However, it is important to note that the issuance of a share to retail investors requires the lodgement of prospectus with the SC, whereas there is no such requirement for issuance of shares to sophisticated investors. It is also very important to get legal advice from your lawyer specialized in this area to ensure a smooth sailing process of your fundraising. Hope this video is helpful to you. In the next episode, we will be discussing fundraising by way of initial public offering, which we call the IPO. You may also check out our series of fundraising here. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.